Now, getting your child out of nappies and potty trained is one of the biggest milestones of their development. But in America, a company is now offering to train toddlers to use the toilet in just 2 days. Is it possible?
I'm certainly... What was your experience potty training your gang years ago?
Oh, it was fun, wasn't it? It was, you know, getting down and... yeah, I think just softly, never the use of force.
You could do it in 24 hours, 2 days,
no,
48 hours?
I think that is...
It's impossible. So, look, it's the latest craze and a lifeline for busy mums. Is it a latest craze or a lifeline for busy mums and dads? Perhaps just a little bit of lazy parenting. Nick Dixon has been off to meet the potty whisperer.
So what are you going to do when you feel like you have to go pee-pee?
If you're willing to pay almost £600 a day, New York now has a professional potty trainer who'll teach your child how to use the toilet.
My son is almost 3 years old, and he's a very active, sweet, rambunctious little boy. We've tried it, we've dabbled in potty training for, I'd say, about 6 months. Starting it, stopping it, starting it, stopping it, and he's going to school in September. And there was so much going on that I was realizing we weren't able to focus the time and attention needed to get him potty trained.
Mum Marissa says it's worth every penny for the woman they're calling the potty whisperer.
I give the child lots of opportunities to practice by giving them as much liquid as possible. I don't force it because, again, you want it to be positive. We track what time the child eliminated success or accident so that you can start to see patterns of how often they go. My success rate is 100%. Every single child that I have worked with is fully potty trained.
So is it money well spent or just money down the drain? Nick Dixon, Good Morning Britain, New York.
That footage of that little boy on the potty with everyone cheering is going to be shown on his wedding day.
Oh, could you imagine? He's going to be very embarrassed at a later date. Well, we will be talking to the potty whisperer herself later in the programme, but keep your thoughts coming in this morning. Is it right for parents to get someone else to potty train their child? I have to say, a lot of people this morning are saying no, like David. It's lazy behaviour and a waste of money. Just wrong. And Hannah says, if you can't potty train your own child, you're either lazy or can't be bothered. And in that case, why have children?
We had... I was desperately keen with Sam, our eldest, to get him to start using the toilet. So I used to get him to come in with me. As you see, sort of you go in, and we used to sort of cross swords and say, come on, let's go and cross swords, which was working brilliantly till my mum looked after him and he said, Granny, I need the toilet. Come on, let's go and cross swords.
Oh.
I'm not quite sure how she managed that.
No, how she took that one.
No, the women at the golf club loved it, though. You can get in touch with us on Facebook, Twitter and email. Get your comments to us before 8 o'clock. It is 8 minutes past 8. Getting your child out of nappies and potty trained is one of the biggest milestones of their development and the parents' development. In America, a company is offering to train toddlers to use the toilet in just 2 days.
So, is this latest craze a lifeline for busy mums and dads, or is it just another example of lazy parenting? Nick Dixon has been to meet the potty whisperer.
So what are you going to do when you feel like you have to go pee-pee?
If you're willing to pay almost £600 a day, New York now has a professional potty trainer who'll teach your child how to use the toilet.
My son is almost 3 years old, and he's a very active, sweet, rambunctious little boy. We've tried it, we've dabbled in potty training for, I'd say, about 6 months. Starting it, stopping it, starting it, stopping it, and he's going to school in September. And there was so much going on that I was realizing we weren't able to focus the time and attention needed to get him potty trained.
Mum Marissa says it's worth every penny for the woman they're calling the potty whisperer.
I give the child lots of opportunities to practice by giving them as much liquid as possible. I don't force it because, again, you want it to be positive. We track what time the child eliminated success or accident so that you can start to see patterns of how often they go. My success rate is 100%. Every single child that I have worked with is fully potty trained.
So is it money well spent or just money down the drain? Nick Dixon, Good Morning Britain, New York.
Well, the potty whisperer, Samantha Allen, joins us now this morning. Samantha, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're all fascinated by this story and by the fact that you claim that you can train children to be potty trained to use the toilet in just 2 days. Before we get into that, what made you come up with the idea?
I just noticed a need for it. A lot of parents are struggling with it, and the support just isn't out there for them.
And how do you do it then? I mean, is there sort of a money-back guarantee? Does it always work on every child?
I can't make any guarantees because kids are kids. But I have been successful in 100% of the children I've worked with.
So to explain, I've got two boys, Samantha, who are now 9 and 7. And I know how tough it was potty training them, but it was a process. It was a process that we focused on for a good few days. And then, of course, you have accidents as you go along. If I thought this was actually worth it and you could guarantee me after 2 days it'd be done, then I could see a reason that this would be worth it. But how do you guarantee that the kids are going to stop having accidents down the line?
I mean, there are no guarantees. But if the skill is learned, then the skill is learned. I'm not sure. Do you think it's? I'm not sure there's any child that doesn't ever have another accident. So do you think it's interesting that you call it a skill, Samantha? It's something that you think it is a skill, that it is something that they can learn, and it's not necessarily a physical reaction that they have to identify in their body that they need the toilet. I think for some kids that might be the case, but it's a skill. No matter what the case is, for all children, it's a new skill. It's breaking an old habit and learning a new behaviour.
Oh, well, Samantha, I'm sure it will surprise you to know we've had a big response from our viewers on this morning. I've got one here from Shell, says, this is just pure laziness. Passing every milestone is a huge achievement for a child and parents should be there to celebrate it, not walk away at the first hurdle. And one from Samantha saying, before I even had my children, I knew potty training them was part of my duty as a mum. You can't pick and choose to do the fun, easy bits. So there's a lot of people there saying it's just lazy parents who would turn to this as a shortcut.
I have not worked with a single parent yet who has not been involved in the entire process. Lots of parents just, they have other children that need their attention at home. They have jobs. Maybe they have spent tons of time trying for 6 months or 2 years and they haven't been successful. So if there's something you're struggling with and there's somebody out there who can help, why not ask for help?
So, Samantha, we'll have parents watching this morning with toddlers that I'm sure are running around, that they're desperately trying to get them to use their potties. What would be your top tips for helping them this morning to try and get their children potty trained?
I would say keep it positive, relaxed and fun. Celebrate those successes. Celebrate them entirely for 30 seconds. And then revisit it in however much time they need, in 30 minutes, in 20 minutes, an hour, and keep going. And just don't focus too much on it. Don't add extra pressure.
OK, lovely stuff. Samantha, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's certainly got us all talking about the situation. So positive, relax and have fun. I think that's wise words when it comes to potty training. Samantha, thank you.
Thank you.
It's still...
You're still baffled. You're still baffled.
It does really. Kerry Watson says, when I potty trained my daughter, I used the potty myself for a week. Soon she was copying me. It didn't work for her son, though. And I think that's the point, is kids, they're all different, aren't they, as well?
Everyone keeps saying boys are more difficult than girls, which is giving me some hope. Because I just think...
Samantha says, where do you go next? Is it £200 a day to learn how to tie shoelaces, £250 to use a knife and fork? You know,
we could, hey, listen, there's an idea there. Copyright that. Yeah. that could make you some bob.
That's what she said.
Absolutely could. Right, let's bring you the headlines. It's approaching 1:15.